I'm Shannon Donnell. I'm our Grower Relations and Vineyard Operations Manager. So we obtained our certification in 2015 for Certified Sustainable Vineyard Operations, and that was led by Brian Calcagno, our viticulturist.
Sustainability is really much bigger than anything organic farming could offer. We've been farming sustainable for quite some time now, but it's only recently that the county has put into place a system where you can track your data and you can become sustainably certified. So some sustainable practices that we've adopted over the years have been the undervine cultivator. Instead of using chemicals to control weeds, we use a mechanical cultivator. We've also begun irrigating at night, so doing overnight irrigation so that when it is warm during the day, that the plants have that water available versus irrigating during the hottest part of the day where you just lose a lot of that water to evaporation.
I think one of the most exciting things that we're doing in the vineyard around sustainability is the amount of acreage that we've converted from water use to fan use for our frost protection. In early spring, when our vines are just starting to grow, they're very susceptible to the cold temperatures that we still get at that time of year. And we have to go out and protect them from that. And in the past, we've used water for that via overhead sprinklers. And over the past 5 years, we've converted more than 60% of our frost-protected acreage over to frost fans, which has resulted in a significant savings of water. We do everything we can to minimize the amount of water that we use for irrigating the vines and only irrigate when we truly need to. So we are doing soil moisture monitoring to see how much moisture we have at different depths in the soil, and we're relating that back to the vineyard block. It's not just across the whole vineyard. Additionally, here at Cutrer, the majority of the water we put out is recycled water. That's coming from our own winery processes. So when the water comes out of the winery, it gets processed and cleaned up, and that goes into our vineyard irrigation pond, and we put that out into the vineyard and reuse that water again. So I think to most people, when they walk out in the vineyard, they just think it's probably weeds growing in the vineyard, but it's intentional what we have growing out in the vineyard, and everything we do is on a block by block kind of prescriptive basis. So we're looking at what that block needs. Do we need to add a little bit more nutrition? And we can do that through cover crops. So instead of adding synthetic fertilizer, we can plant something that takes nutrients such as nitrogen that isn't usable by the plant. It converts it to a usable nitrogen by the plant. Then we plow it in and we have this natural green fertilizer. When you see what's growing between the rows, it's intentional.